Hello, gentlemen.
Mr. Bill Welch, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody's weekend?
Oh, it's fantastic. How about yours?
It was good.
I don't want to be here. I want it to be more weekend.
Yeah,
But 4 days, the holiday really messes with my mind.
I hear that.
yeah.
Okay.
Talked to someone the other day. I told them, I said, I took Friday off. It was nice. So it got me thinking, why don't I just take every Friday off?
Yeah, right. That's a great question. Why don't we take every Friday off? Peyton, did you get scheduled for the onboarding? I didn't see any onboarding scheduled, but maybe I missed it or something happened.
I thought that's what this was. So I did have a question on the last step of the CRM setup. Very basic question.
Sure.
It wanted to know, where would you like to receive SMS notifications and email notifications? And I did not know if that was for what that meant. So that's the last step I have on this survey.
Got it.
Blocking me from having it scheduled.
So you probably haven't scheduled it yet because you would have. I would have seen it on the appointment calendar. That will just be like your personal email and your personal text message, like your phone number.
Okay.
That's just so when you schedule a call, they can alert you and be like, "Hey, it's time for a call." It's different than my system.
Okay, so that is just for the setup of the CRM. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, the onboarding, 2 hours of onboarding.
Okay. So does that mean this call we don't do anything, or?
Oh no, we can do them both at the same time. So you'll do that. I'll get all the notifications for when you schedule. So I'll start seeing that stuff when you schedule, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling as we go forward because we're not going to need that right away.
Okay, cool. Well,
but it is important to get done as soon as possible because that way you can get your phone numbers and just everything like connected and set up.
Okay, perfect. Mike, Wednesday afternoon at like 2:30, would that work for you?
Probably. Yes.
Cool.
And I just put a link in the chat, and that's for Miro, and that's one of the places we'll be working in today. Now, other question with Go High Level setup, did you get all the emails and like the logins? Have you been able to successfully log into Go High Level?
Well, the answer to your question is no, but is that because I just missed an email?
Yeah, you should have got a bunch of emails on whatever day that was, 25th or whatever day it was. Let me see.
Okay, maybe I did. I don't know if...
Yeah, you have an account set up, so you should have gotten the emails. Check your spam. Sometimes they are there.
I found it. It was in my spam. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's cool.
Nope.
It's all right.
Behind the 8 ball to start.
No, it's cool. This is why we have all these meetings, because I honestly don't expect people to do things when we're not on the call together. And that is why we do this together. It's because I am like, hey, we're going to have this time to do Go High Level stuff. And like, that's it. So that you're blocking out in your schedule and I'm blocking out my schedule so we can definitely get stuff done.
That works. Okay. It's resending the activation email.
Okay. Yeah, you can share your screen if you want, but it doesn't seem like you have to at this point. If it's just resending and clicking through, you may have to reset a password or something.
Okay. Hasn't come through yet, but I will let you know when it does.
Okay. We've got a third person in here too, Chris. Who's Chris? Hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris works for us.
Oh, cool. Mystery silence.
He is Mike's executive assistant.
Oh, excellent.
He is much more tech savvy than I, and with one of his superpowers. So
Awesome. Hey, Chris. Thanks for your superpowers. Michael, did you see the link in the chat for the Miro board? While
I
Paige's-
did. I am trying to get in. So
For the A2P 10 DLC, it prompts me for a copy of our business registration document. Does that specifically need to be IRS or state registration?
Whichever you have.
Okay.
And you don't necessarily need it like today, but if you're just going through it and you have it, I'd say just keep going while you're on a roll.
Oh, it wants me to upload it to. Oh, I guess it's not a required field, but I'll just do it.
Any luck, Michael? I don't see him there yet. Struggling?
no, 1 minute. 1 minute. I think we got it now.
Okay.
I am in. Apparently, I created on the 25th a login.
Nice.
So then I was going through the whole process to create another login, and
You
then it
already
wouldn't
have a
accept my
login.
Yeah, it wouldn't accept my password. So then I had to do forgot password, and so we're good now. Good now.
All right. Yes, I see you in there. What I like about Miro is that we all can work in the same place and we can see each other moving around and doing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris is down there at the bottom making moves. I see his mouse speeding around.
What I love now is we have to do like a lot of flow charts in our industry for title purposes, and
Yeah.
now we can take crappy hand-drawn ones and put them in ChatGPT, and it'll just create the Miro chart for us so that we can refine it from there.
Yeah, I bet that was a mess before the invent of AI.
We may do, but it allows for people to be lazier, I guess.
That's a whole nother discussion, right? Lazier or more efficient? Peyton, should we wait for you to start with the Miro board, or can we just, should we just keep rocking and rolling?
Y'all can keep moving. I'm trying to.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Michael, you're the one with the reins right now. So basically, what we're going to do here is I'm going to ask some questions, and they're kind of like free flowing questions. But what I'm trying to understand is the workflow of your guys' business. And that could be anywhere from like, the client workflow, the acquisition, like whatever that looks like. I'd like to get as much of it down on paper as possible so that we can know like where we're going to build going forward, like what we're going to start with. This will be our map so that at the end of 6 weeks, we're like, hey, we did all of these things and we haven't done these things yet. So we're going to spend the first couple of weeks like really mapping this stuff out and really like thinking deeply about existing things that you do. And then maybe there's other things you're like, now I'd really like to change this thing because we have Go High Level now. So that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to pick a color, and where should we start? What's the top here?
So I'm here. Well,
you can ask questions too.
Yeah. So typically speaking, we're going to pull data to extrapolate our marketing list. So do we start there, or do we actually just start with we have the marketing list?
Let's just start like the very beginning. You know, we're just gonna put some words down on these notes, and we're gonna start arranging them as you talk. So you say stuff, and I'll put it down, and then we'll start arranging it to make sense of it.
Okay. So typically speaking, we're going to um, pull data either from always third-party services or public available data to kind of form our marketing list. We'll take that raw data and scrub it to something that's a little more manageable and usable for us. At that point, we'll skip trace it and kind of cross-reference, clean up the data some more. We'll upload that into, now it's closed, but we'll upload that data. Once it's uploaded, we'll start
When you're skip tracing, what data are you guys looking for? Like, what are all the data points?
Yeah, so when we're skip tracing, we're usually looking for I guess a cross-reference of address names, addresses, and phone numbers. So contact information.
What about the property, like what do they call it? The actual like property number?
So yeah, not so much on the skip trace. Mineral owners, it often does not follow a address, a rural address or something like that. So usually it typically does not follow an address. There might be a legal description, but we don't really skip trace that legal description.
Okay. So you guys are going to like public data, and you're looking for just plots of land in that area, and you're pulling that data, and you're running it against a skip tracing service, and all you're looking for is name, address, and phone number. And you also have I guess keep going, because I'm the gap in my world is like, where does the property come in? But you'll probably get there. I just wanted to.
Yeah, so that's kind of like when we're pulling the list, it's not quite like the real estate, right? Real estate will hop on PropStream or some other list building source. For us, we use drilling info quite heavily. So basically it's everyone who's ever signed an oil and gas lease in America. For the most part, I can pull probably the last 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
So we'll pull from there. We also might pull from other third-party marketing, third-party sources to come up with that data. And basically from there, depending on the quality of the data, sometimes we don't have much more than names, addresses, and so forth. But generally speaking, we'll have some sort of property description. So typically speaking, if you zoom out, most of the U.S. is designed in a grid pattern, township range section. And if you understand how all of these little parcels fit together in these nice clean squares, that's more or less how most of the U.S. is laid out. And so that's why, it's most people don't own 640-acre section. They own a parcel within that 640-acre section. So it's kind of what I was getting at, that addresses don't exactly correspond with what we're looking for. Currently in Ohio, we do have parcel numbers. Most of Eastern U.S. seems to use parcel numbers. So each identifiable tract does have a parcel number, but that's not true in every state.
So some states have parcel numbers.
Yep.
What do the other states have?
Legal descriptions.
Okay.
Texas is kind of an oddity. Yeah, we just have legal descriptions.
Okay,
And
got
likely there are parcel numbers attributed to the surface in Texas, but we don't track them like that. In Ohio and some of these other places, I mean, they use the parcel ID for sometimes in conjunction with legal description.
Okay, so as we're building out, because I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, like as we're building out the kind of the contacts in Go High Level, are we going to be tracking? I know like some states are different, right? Like, are we going to need a field for parcel ID and legal description under the contact?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, because some will have legal description, others will have parcel ID.
Correct.
We'll need in terms of like custom fields, we would need the state, the county, the township, which applies in some states but not others, and then the legal description. So that was state, county, township, parcel, and legal description. That's kind of like the hierarchy.
Okay, let me just rearrange it there. So there's an actual like hierarchy of it. So should I just arrange it like this? Would this make the most sense? State, county, township, legal description.
If you're trying to get either way.
Rocking.
I mean, if these are just custom field setups, I don't know if it has to be that way. Like, I don't
Chris, you're the man. Look at you. Thank you. Crushing it in here. He's obviously been through this before. Okay, cool. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Okay, so we've got drillinginfo.com, property description, and under that is state, county, township. Some people have parcel IDs, other states have legal descriptions. And then when you get that information, you're going to scrub it so you can get the names, phone numbers, and address. Does that sound correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of bit like editing and finagling of, say, legal descriptions and parcel descriptions to kind of make it a little more harmonious in our data.
Tell me more about that as I watch Chris do magic. The finagling, what does that look like?
I'll jump in there. So we will, from the data sources that we use, we're always going to already have names.
Okay.
So that's a known before we skip trace. So we're not just skip tracing. Again, it's not like when you're pulling a list of single family houses and you're like, who owns this house? We do that step, but that's before any of the skip tracing takes place.
Got it. So that comes off of like drillinginfo.com?
It comes off of Drilling Info. We also actually go out there and pay people to like do what a title company does ahead of time, just at a very basic level to figure out who are the mineral owners. And then from there, we need to find out how do we contact those mineral owners. We also pull, so when an oil and gas well is going to be drilled, the operator has to file notices with the state, and it names all of the people who would be interested parties. So if they might have oil and gas produced from their property, they're going to be named on this notice list. And so we scrape those. So the data sources are going to be varying, but in all cases, we're going to have a name before we skip trace.
Okay. So there's the third part of the public data. There's the names on like the documents that come from the state, county, or township when somebody's going to drill. And then you also like send people out to kind of drive around and figure out what's what.
It's
on the
research
internet.
county records.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll drive around on the internet.
I like that.
Virtual driving for minerals.
Virtual
There we
driving
go.
for minerals. There it is.
There's an app.
There you go. That's the thing. All right, cool. So we've got all of that, and then it comes down. We'll just say drillinginfo.com is a common one. Let's connect all these. Actually, no, we'll probably connect all that to names. Okay. Okay, so we've got kind of these like sources up top. Drillinginfo.com, it's in the middle. I don't know if it's the most important or not, or if it even matters. Then you always have the names, and then the property description, and then the state, the county, the township. Some have parcel IDs. Okay. Cool. Awesome. What's next in your guys' route?
So, yeah, so I guess we're pulling all that data and then we're scrubbing the list because we all need it to read one way, right? So these lists will present the data in different fields and order it different and format it different. So basically, for list scraping is we're trying to just format into one list moving forward. So then skip trace, I guess, Peyton, we've talked in and around, different sources we use. Do we have I guess preferred vendors at this point that we skip trace through?
We are most frequently using Leads Pro. They were formerly Skip Force. We're also in the process right now of trying to get a TLO subscription.
What's a TLO?
It's TransUnion's PI tool.
Private investigator tool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you'll use Leads Pro and maybe the TransUnion PI tool to do the skip tracing?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we ever use Melissa?
We saw for a quote to them. I don't even think they ever got back. So
Okay.
we have not
No.
used Melissa.
Awesome. What is the format that you guys are using? You get all these like different formatted. Is you just you have like a way you arrange it in an Excel spreadsheet, or is there something different?
Yes. Let me pull up an example.
And the reason I ask is so that when we're mapping your spreadsheet to go high level, we use the same words so that they're easily mapped.
Yes. Sorry for the delay.
No worries.
We can keep moving. I'll have that for you in a second. I'm waiting on
Okay.
Denise to send me the most recent version used so I don't open up the wrong version.
Okay, got it. Yeah, and then you can just paste that in here somewhere. whether it's a link or you can just screenshot it or something or other, whatever
Okay.
works for you. You can also drag and drop, I think I learned the other week, into here.
Sweet.
Okay.
Do one of those.
Cool. So needs to be formatted into one format. And I'm going to put a little card over here that says example format. So you can put that there. And then skip trace, Leads Pro, TransUnion, and then you're getting the address and the phone number from the skip trace. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so this address is like their mailing address.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so you're getting their mailing address and phone number. You already have their name. You've got their parcel ID or whatever it is in that state. And where do we go from here?
So then this is where we're going to start our outreach. Well, it gets uploaded, right? And then it starts outreach. Currently we use Open Letter Connect. And once a new list goes in there, and provided that, there's not any copies or, duplicates in there, we will start them out on a automated drip campaign for letters and postcards.
And that was Outreach Connect, Open Letter Connect.
Open Letter Connect.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
So that's a drip campaign of letters and mailers?
Correct.
Do you have like a cadence for that?
It's sending every 3 weeks.
Okay. How many do they get?
It's a cycle of 4, so they'll get 4 pieces of mail over the course of 12 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peyton, once that cycle finishes, do they receive any further mail?
They have to be put back into that cycle. But yes, I mean, the reason that we time it out at that point is because we have a direct mail marketing budget. And, when we're mailing 20,000 people, one batch stops, then another batch continues on.
And how do you decide whether or not they get put back into the system to get a mailer?
That's the hard part about managing all of this. It's driven by, of course, people who haven't yet responded and areas of highest interest. So primarily we would look at like how we track county and township. We'll focus in on a specific township and county, or we'll high grade those and we'll mail those heavier. So if we have somebody who hasn't responded, that cycle has ended for them. Those are people that would get back into that. And really we've talked about making that a longer cycle. So not going back into an every 3 week cycle, but more like an every 60 days cycle. But I can't say that we've consistently implemented that yet. We also track return to sender. So there's those people who really need to be skip traced. And that's a kind of a manual effort. So once a month, we go through our Open Letter Connect account. We filter down to all return to senders. And then that's really where like our TransUnion skip tracing is probably going to come into play, is on those people that are harder to find, finding alternate valid mailing addresses for them.
Got it. Okay. This is really nice having Chris. This is amazing having 2 people work on this and 2 people talk about it. This is great. All right. So we've got responded, yes, no, return to sender. If it's a no, are they a high area of interest? If they are, then resend. Is that correct? If they're not, what happens then?
I mean, I'm looking at this both through a historical and a go forward lens. Our area can shift as it has over the past year, which is why I say that. Ideally, everybody that we're targeting is in our area of interest where we would want to keep pursuing it. But I don't know. I guess we got a plan for both circumstances. So really, the most recent thing that we've done is enclose our current CRM. We added tags to everybody that it was outside of our highest area of interest, and they're just sitting on ice right now. We're not doing anything with them because we don't really care to market to them. But if they're in an area, then we shouldn't stop marketing to them until they say no, or we've moved on from that area. So everybody really should be back in some type of rotation.
Got it. Okay. And then if they have received their, like, are the mailers different every time?
Yes.
Should we be working on either matching or complementing any messaging from, because I know like we talked a little bit about SMS and stuff, like maybe that's not as important like through here, but just to kind of put it on paper, eventually, if you did get there, would you want to match or like complement messaging from the mailer to like the SMS, or probably not the email, but definitely to the SMS?
Well, hold on. So we're not SMS marketing.
Right.
Okay.
You're not. I was just kind of thinking like way out there into the distant future. Maybe you do. If there's like one, you're like, I really want to target this one. You could send some targeted messaging and see how that works if you're only sending 50 a week or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yes,
we're getting too complicated there.
Okay, so let me get to the root of your question. You're specifically talking about complementing with other mediums, right?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. But we may just be getting way down into the wormhole on that one.
Until we get in touch with somebody, they are on our direct mail and our cold calling lists. So as we've discussed, those are our two outbound methods of reaching people. And our guys will always say, they'll reference the letter that we sent them.
Okay.
Just as kind of a warm intro, but I guess I don't know what else we would coordinate. We're not doing cold email outreach. We could. We're not doing cold SMS outreach. And again, in maybe a targeted manner, we could consider that, but that's not on our radar.
Okay. I guess the only other like follow-up question on that one would be, how important is it for your buyers to be like, hey, did you get the mailer that says X, Y, and Z? Maybe it's like the third or fourth mailer they got, or is it like, hey, you got our mailer and it's just like blanket mailer? Because there's a good chance we can track how many mailers they got, like how long in the cycle they are inside Go High Level. Does that matter to you? Is it important? I don't know. I was just trying to think about this as we go through it.
It does. I mean, that's why we switched to Open Letter Connect. But again, the original idea was that we'd pull a new list, we'd skip trace it, we'd upload it into Close current CRM, and then we would trigger an automation that sends those new contacts to Open Letter Connect to send them to begin the sequence. And then Open Letter Connect tracks, who's been mailed and when. And so you can click on any given contact and you can see, how many times has that person been mailed and when. That automation part keeps it's just not good. So we were going to have it re-engineered, but we've put that on pause because we're switching from closed to go high level.
Got it. So there is like an automation from the mailer system to say like, hey, we just sent out the first one and we sent out the second one, and it theory it is communicating back and forth, but in reality it's not. Is that what's happening? Okay.
And what I don't like about it, and maybe this is another thing I don't like about it, and this might just be reality, is it has to do a zap activity for every contact. So if we upload a list of 1,000 contacts, it's going to do 1,000 orders in Open Letter Connect instead of one batch delivery. So, from the Zapier side, that's an expensive automation when you're, every single contact is an activity from the get-go. But that might just be the way it has to be. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case you have ideas. But,
yeah, there's cheaper versions of Zapier. Pabbly is one.
Yeah.
And yeah, would you be able to just upload an Excel document to them and then they can just run with it that way?
Yes, that's what we keep ending up doing.
Okay.
But then it's not telling us in close any of the mailing detail. Whereas the Zap was originally set up to where it was keeping track of that, and we understood where they were in the sequence, and it was all keeping pace because it would set the order and then a workflow within close would begin, so it would be tracking alongside, the mailing sequence that was started. So,
all right. So there's an API that communicates with the CRM to document what's been sent and when. Is that right?
I think I'm maybe misrepresenting that. That was my original vision. I think what's really happening is that the CRM was, when it works, it's triggering the mail to send in Open Letter Connect. And so that part is automated via Zapier.
Okay, so you drag over some, like you say like everybody in this column, move them to the pipeline stage of like send mailers, and then it like zaps out to Open Letter Connect every single person in there.
Yes. And then I believe that the way that it's set up right now is that within close has workflows. And so close would know that because it has initiated that mailing sequence. No, never mind. See, it's just convoluted. It was all through Zapier still. So Zapier had the delay. Zapier had the 21-day delay. And then after 21 days, it would send second mailer and it would notify both Close and Open Letter Connect that we're now in stage 2 of the mailing sequence. So that's how it was working. Okay.
So you had a close workflow where you put contact in, we'll just say stage, and then there'd be a delay of 21 days, or would it automatically just send out the first one?
All right. So to restate, let's use your example. In Close, you select 100 owners and you click start mailing sequence as their status or something.
Yeah.
That's going to trigger Zapier to send all of those to Open Letter Connect, and the mailing sequence starts that day. So that day, the order is placed, they start getting printed, they get mailed out within the next couple days. Now Zapier has a delay set on that automation or that workflow where 21 days later, now it's going to hit stage 2 and it's going to send the next order to Open Letter Connect to send those stage 2 mailers. And it's at the same time going to tell Close that has happened. And so now Close custom field gets updated to say, stage 2 under mailer or whatever.
Got it. And is it always 21-day delay after every one?
Right now it is. Had we gotten that one working consistently properly, then we would have introduced a separate mailing sequence for those people who had already been through the first one. But
okay, I'm gonna start a new color over here. We'll deal with this later, but mailing sequence workflow automation, because that sounds like there's like what was supposed to happen, what actually is working, and then what we can do in GHL. So I think we should eventually go through all that and really like nail that one down.
By the way, I couldn't figure out how to drop a file in our Google.
I think you can just drag it.
I tried.
I've never done it, so I actually have zero clue.
There's the plus icon on the left side.
The plus icon where?
The plus icon, that one.
On the toolbar.
Oh, in Miro.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
sorry.
thinking.
I'm in Google. I thought you said send it in like the Google chat. That's where.
Oh
That's
no.
where- Okay. Yeah. All right. I can put it in Miro.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Okay. Cool. So we got up to like these mailers. All right. And then where do we go? Because we're at like responded, yes, no, return to sender. If it returns to sender, high interest area, and you'll have to do some more digging on the return to sender, use trans union PI tool. Okay. Where do we go from here? Where we're kind of at like the end of the mailer sequence, I suppose. Maybe not.
Yeah, just a second.
Cool. All right. I see you dropped it. Thank you.
All right. So responded yes, no, return to sender, higher interest no. So you're saying right here. Is that's where
Yeah, yeah, like here or here, somewhere like kind of if it's no, if it's not in the high interest area, like what are you guys doing? What are you going to do? If it is in a high interest area, what do we do? Is it just more of like the mailer sequence? Is that kind of where this is getting into?
I mean, yeah, well, while this is going on, they're also being cold called.
Okay.
So, but I would say if it's yes, we are going to continue to market to them, but this is where trackability of understanding who has been mailed, have they gone through that entire first sequence, when do they get their last mail, managing all of that, it needs to be clear so we know to, and we can alter this, right? Like we can extend the mailing sequence. They go through their first 4 weeks, and then if we haven't changed something and go high level or whatever, then we can just go ahead and expand that sequence up front to be the first 4 mailers, and then they're getting them every 45 days for however long. Again, we might run into some marketing budget complications there, so we just have to have have a way to pause that somewhat easily. If we're bumping up against our monthly direct mail marketing budget and we've got 10,000 people currently in a sequence and we need to back that off to 5,000, who are we going to choose to put on ice to effectuate that? But everybody under no here is going to be, we're not going to continue marketing to them.
Okay. One of the things I heard you say was like really understanding your metrics of like who's gotten what, whether it's phone calls, cold calls, mailers, which mailer, how many mailers. Is that like one of the most important things out of all this, is to really like understand those metrics?
Well, the most important thing is to reach people who want to sell. But yes, I guess I'm thinking of budget here. It's not that we have massive budget constraints and we're always just having to like pull different levers to pull things back, but I just want to be mindful, like I mentioned, we're we're expanding into new areas, and so it's going to get really expensive really fast. And so I think we just want to be able to look at something and say, okay, we've been mailing this person and cold calling them for a year, and we've gotten nothing. And we've got these new leads over here, and we don't want to spend more than $30,000 a month on direct mail. Who are we going to pull back on? And so by looking and seeing we've been marketing to this person for a year and gotten nothing, let's pull back. We'll, we're going to change something up and put them into like an every 6-month campaign or something, or just put them on ice. So in that way, the metric is important. I guess the other thing is, I mentioned deduplication before, right? So early on, we were just using a mass mailer house and just trying to move fast. What was it? My Eli Miller was like, by the time I got the 14th letter from you in a week. So it's like, spending $14 on mailing that guy in a week. I guess it produced a call, so maybe we should.
It works. Yeah, right.
But trying to not do that.
Understood. So like, how many touches? What's the most, what's the magic number? Because like, I'm sure there is some sort of magic number with enough data to say like, yeah, if we hit these people 14 times over the year, that's like on average, we get the best return on our marketing spend on that one. And then knowing how many times somebody's been interacted with at any given, to be able to see that at any given time, to be able to best direct your marketing budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The cold calling, that happens in a different software, or are you guys going to do that from here, GHL?
Right now we do it from close. So if GHL does not turn out to be the right system, then we will have to get a separate dialer.
Okay.
And I know when we spoke last week, you said you can do it and people do it, but you'll have to integrate like a third-party dialer. I wrote it down. What'd you call it? Wave?
Wave is like a good triple line dialer type of thing. There's a whole bunch of things you can integrate in as a dialer. Like Go High Level has a single line dialer that works pretty well, but it's just going to dial one person at a time. It's not going to dial all three, and whoever answers, it's going to go to that person. So just depends on the volume and what you guys are really trying to accomplish.
We've been using single line dialer. We're probably investing in TLO, like I mentioned, because they're going to have data that's correct.
Good. Okay. And that'll be good too. Having good data makes calling easier.
Yeah. So I think our thought was kind of, let's start and go high level. And if it's clear that we're outgrowing it, then we'll integrate a different dialer.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to start another column in this color over here, because this will be like cold calling. Yeah, so we have mailers and then we have cold calling. So what I'm starting to see is one of the things is important is being able to track how many times has someone been touched, basically, whether it's cold calling or mailing. They both incur an expense. So if somebody's been, touched every day for 3 months, whatever it is your cadence is, you're probably not going to send them another mailer for wait 3 more months, wait 6 more months, like that type of thing. So really, for me, learning what your sequence is for the mailer and what your sequence is for cold calling, and then we can start to build out the pipelines and stages and just the ways to track that, so that you'll be able to pull up easily, where is my next dollar going to be spent? And then if you have extra dollars at the end of the month, wherever, you can allocate it to the less important section or the more important section, wherever you feel is best use for that dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Just about the end of today. How do you guys feel about today? Any questions you have, things that you hated, disliked, things you liked, feedback for today?
I think this is really good to help us think through our process and what we're trying to achieve within Go High Level. We definitely reached out with solving. Highest priority was to solve the lead management portion. So once we have connected with someone, so I don't want to lose sight of that. But if we're able to resolve everything here, then that just makes us much more streamlined. And I do want to do that. But just, I don't know, I'll throw that out there that
When you say lead management, what does that mean in your eyes, in your mind? What are the words I can put down here so like we don't lose track of that? Because I think that's really important.
so that's somebody who has answered the phone and said, I'm interested in selling, or has picked up the phone when they received a mailer and said, I might be interested in selling or leasing. Or again, we've got our other lead generation sources through referrals and through brokers. So these are all people who are truly warm leads. And now we are nurturing those. We are sending them SMS. We are sending them emails. We don't have them in our direct mail sequence anymore because we've made contact, and we're going to keep that going.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I wrote, do not lose track of people who are interested in selling or leasing, referrals or brokers. And Chris has so kindly put in warm leads in there. So we've got, if we go like farther up at the funnel, we've got warm leads, and then what we kind of did was cold leads today. Is that correct? Okay. So then next time we meet, do you want to focus on the warm lead side of it, if that is the most important thing? Because we're gonna kind of work through it all in Miro, just so we can see like what all the sections are and then like how they connect. So we're gonna do them all eventually, but you know where we go the next time we meet is up to you guys.
There's a lot to explore on just what is our cadence for the cold leads, but we're also to the point of some connection points, right? Somebody has received that mail and they call us, and now we're in that phase. So, Mike, I don't know if you've got a preference, but we're very close to connecting those dots in my mind. You're muted.
No, now he's muted. Starlink for the loss. Yep. You have to get you a whiteboard, man. Just hold it up.
I don't know.
Well, oh, there he is.
I don't know. It might be something with my phone and my headset. I don't know. Anyway, no, I don't. I mean, it seems like it's going to get all mapped out anyway, so I don't care which way we go with it.
Okay, cool. When Chris, can you put your email in the chat too, so I can include you in on these, so you get the emails and all that stuff. When do you guys want to meet again? We've got 2 more times this week.
What's your schedule look like?
For me. Pretty low key for me.
I think my schedule is pretty good, so you guys are my priority, so whatever works for you.
We've got a meeting with your onboarding team for Wednesday at 3, right? Yeah. No, 2:30. Wednesday at 2:30. So
We can meet tomorrow. I mean, we can meet whenever.
oh man, tomorrow's hard.
Yeah.
can do tomorrow.
Wednesday?
What you think, Mike?
I'm pretty wide open on Wednesday.
Okay. I could do 10. Do we normally talk at 10:30 on Wednesday, Mike?
We do.
You want to do this instead?
That's fine.
How about 10:30 or 11 Central on Wednesday, Bill?
Let's see. I shouldn't have anything, but let's check. So, what time did you say? 11:30? 10:30.
10:30 or 11?
Yeah, 10:30 should be good. So Wednesday, December 3rd.
Bill doesn't want to do these meetings without Chris anymore.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. Thank you,
I
Chris.
told you. I figured out one of Chris's superpowers.
All right, so we've got Wednesday, December 3rd, 10:30 Central Time.
Sounds good.
All right,
That'll work for me.
let me add Michael. And Chris, let me add you. All right, I got Michael, Chris. You guys are both in there. 10:30, December 3rd, which is Wednesday. Okay, cool. I'll see you both 3 people then.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you.
That works. Thanks,
Later.
Bill. Have a good one.